folks, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video we will be discussing about a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty Sushma KP. Did you know that in 2015 a Rajasthan High Court on its own suo motu took up the cases in order to deal with high prevalent suicide cases of students in coaching industry? Yes, based on that we will be now discussing the current affair topic of Rajasthan's Coaching Center Bill of 2025 which is being introduced. This video is presented to you by your faculty Sushma KP. Now first and foremost, first of all your Rajasthan Assembly passes a bill. The name of the bill is Coaching Centers. Look at this, Coaching Centers and Coaching Centers Control and Regulation Bill of 2025. The primary aim, if you see, of this bill is first thing to regulate coaching industry, second thing is ensure student well-being. What is the context behind this? Look at this. What is the context, or for what reason is this being made? Because of the fact of higher student suicides in Kota and Sikar. This is calling for an urgent reform. Understanding? So, because of this issue has been taken up. First and foremost, if you take up how the background is, just alone in 2015 itself, 88 deaths occurred in 4 years, and of which 70 were in Kota and 40 were in Sikar. Okay, one thing here I would like to mention is your Rajasthan High Court took up suo motu case in order to recognize or taking into accordance of the student suicides for almost 10 years. 10 years ago, wherein 19 students were reported to have taken their lives in the coaching center itself. In 2015, taking into all this action, the last 5 years alone, we have seen a lot of students have committed suicide and no one has been held accountable. This the High Court, let's say, spoke it out in 2016. Now in 2025, we have introduced this bill. In 2015, your High Court took a suo motu action. Your over the years, let's say, the High Commission or your High Court of Rajasthan commissioned a study. One of the main thing is to study about the student stress. Okay, it was by your committee was by your Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Okay, this issued regulations. Okay, and also it asked for more of a proper legislation to be brought about in order to deal with this issue. So based on all this bill was introduced, and this bill was also sent to your parliamentary committee. Parliamentary committee also further said yes, there is a lack of regulation and that is based on the issues what we are talking about. It also claimed of a lot of mental health crisis, etc. So finally, when this bill was introduced, one of the main things about this bill is in order to curb commercialization. That is, the so-called concept of coaching industries should not be only about making investments, profits and trying to get those things out only, but in order to meet the students' welfare. For that, first and foremost, you have to control excessive profit-driven practices. See, we are not going to use control profit-driven practices, only excessive profit-driven practices. And another main important thing is to protect the students' interest with respect to career guidelines, counseling, mental health issues, understanding, and also provide a healthy environment whereas to students who are preparing for competitive exams are given what they are needing and not give up false promises, false claims or excessive marketing. Now, if you see the provisions of the bill, first and foremost, it is going to introduce something called as Rajasthan Coaching Centers Authority, which will have education officials, police representatives, psychiatrists and parent representatives. So, it is bringing all the pool from the start to the end who are involved in the process on the table. The district committees will be the oversight structure, which will include your district magistrate, superintendent of police, health officials, understanding. And once this bill is passed, okay, once this bill is passed, all the coaching industries have time of 3 months within which they have to register themselves. Now, register themselves means any coaching institute which has above 100 students, they are automatically brought under this ambit. And the eligibility requirements for a coaching industry is, first and foremost, the space standards is minimum 1 square meter per student, so as to not let's say compact or congest the students. Next, the tutor qualification must be at least of a graduate level, and there should be no mislead or promises of ranks or marks or false claims, and mandatory counseling session should be given. A complete transparency with regard to tutor details, fees, success stories, everything should be there. And this class limits 5 hours per day and weekly day off for both faculties, tutors, students, understanding, for all of them. It should not be above that. Now, if someone violates this, then they will be, for first violation they will be charged with 50,000, then for second violation it will be 2 lakhs, and if they keep on repeating this, then it will lead to even cancellation of the registration. This is applicable only to centers which has 100 plus students in the coaching center. If you see with respect to the coaching industry in Rajasthan, this bill has also invoked this let's say opposition from the opposition parties as well as your local MPs, MLAs. Reason is simple, they are telling over 50 lakh students are being enrolled and the income which is generating is 60,000 crores. That is how big this industry is, and it directly or indirectly employs more than 10 lakh people. In this, for Kota and Sikar, this is the economic lifeline of this particular place, and more of Sikar's economy, 30 to 35% is linked to your coaching industry only. Now, what is the opposition raising the voice against? They are telling this bill is it actually aimed at trying to protect the students' interest, or is it actually to protect the coaching industry's interest? Because there has not been any mandatory provisions for psychiatric, or that is with respect to mental health awareness, or any as such of counseling is not made mandatory. Understanding? And they are telling one of the important things is there is ban on students below 16 years. That is, students below 16 years should not be taken into the coaching. And also one more thing is the counseling gap with respect to the psychological counseling is not made mandatory. And now, by bringing too much of the administrative body, it is again creating a sort of red tapeism, excessive red tapeism, or otherwise leading to something called as Inspector Raj. This does not seem like creating some let's say student welfare, but rather protecting your coaching industries and just excessively making it bureaucratic. And also they are telling the small centers will get impacted by this. This may favor the bigger ones, big coaching institute, but not the small ones. Now, if you are someone who wants to get into UPSC civil service preparation, look no further. We have found the right spot with Legacy IAS Academy. First and foremost, like the topic we are discussing, one of the main things about Legacy IAS Academy is the batch size is fixed to 40 member per limit. We also provide one-on-one mentorship, regular interaction with the educators, and you will have daily mains answer writing challenge, prelims mock test series, interview mock test panel. We also conduct our classes in both offline as well as online mode. For those of you who are working professionals and students, you can avail our weekend batch classes. For any more further information, you can contact the number given below or check out Legacy IAS Academy website. You can also schedule a demo class online or offline to see the classes for yourself. Alright, now let's get back into the topic. What is government's defense? What is government trying to tell on this bill? First, it is telling we are trying to make sure there is a balance and justice with respect to this coaching industry. And we do understand that coaching centers are vital for your Rajasthan ka Kota or Sikar region, but we will try to protect the students at the same point of time, not burden the industry as well. So, with regarding to this bill, do you think this bill is mandatory, or do you think the coaching industry must be regulated? Whatever your answer is, comment down in the comment section below and let me know your views. With respect to the final conclusion as to how are we viewing this piece of legislation, first and foremost, this is the very first attempt at trying to regulate coaching industries. Still, there are a lot of gaps that are remaining with respect to counseling, suicide prevention, enforcement, and many of the critics are even hailing that no, how is it addressing here students' suicide prevention, right? So, there are still gaps on that. And another important thing is you can't isolate the fact of the economic aspects of your coaching industry also. That is, how to regulate booming industries without stifling growth. That is, you need growth. Understanding? At the same point of time, you have to make sure this does not impact your human potential or social capital. Otherwise, our nation's richest resource, who are losing their lives over suicides. Understanding? So, all of this put together is how we have to address this piece of legislation. Understanding? With this, we have come to the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Thank you.